Okay, welcome back to our videos on the stances. The first video we worked on was the straddle leg stance. The second video we worked on was the forward stance. And today we're going to work on the back stance. But before we do that, we have to learn how to pivot. Okay? I have to learn how to pivot. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you. Here. From here, we're in our straddle leg stance. Hands tucked in. And we step back, 1, 2, 3. And we're in our forward stance. Now notice how my front knee is bent. My front knee is bent so much that when I look down, it covers my toes. I can't see my toes. Back leg is straight. Now watch here. I'm going to put my hands on my waist. Now watch my back foot. I'm going to pivot. When I pivot, when I finish, I'm going to be in a back stance. Now watch here. I'm going to lift the heel off the ground. Then I'm going to twist my foot here. Notice that my heel is off the ground. And then 3, I set it down. When I set it down, I'm in a back stance. Notice that the width on the stance is the same as my forward stance and the same as my straddle leg stance. The length is the same as my forward stance. Now watch here again. I'm going to pivot back into a forward stance. Watch the foot. I come up on the ball of the foot. This is 1. I turn my hips and my leg. 2. I set the heel down. 3. And I'm back in my forward stance. Now watch that again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Back stance. Both knees are bent. Feet are in the shape of an L. This is our back stance. Now I'm going to pivot back to my forward stance. Watch here. 1. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to turn my knee and my hip. 2, 3. Setting it down. Now, I need you to practice that pivot on both sides. So you're going to go into the back stance, step back or forward into your forward stance, and practice that 3-count pivot. 3-count pivot. Now watch here again. I'm going to do it from the side so you guys can see that pivot. Here on this back foot. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Back stance. Feet are in the shape of L. I'm going to pivot back. 1, lifting the heel. 2, twisting the leg. 3, setting it down. Now I'm back in the forward stance. Now, pivoting is important. We're going to do this on a lot of transitions. Later on, you're going to do something called full hip action where you're pivoting both feet. But for right now, that is a pivot. We're going to use that pivot to go from our forward stance into our back stance. Okay? So one more time. I'm going to start off here in straddle leg stance. I'm stepping back. 1, 2, 3. As I get into my forward stance, I make sure that my body is straight. Both of my feet are pointing toward the front. My front knee is bent so much that I can't see my toes and my front foot, and my leg is straight. My knee is straight. From here, I just went from straddle leg stance to my forward stance. Now I'm going to pivot into the back stance. How many counts? 3. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. This is the back stance. I'm going to pivot back into my forward stance. 1, 2, 3. Forward stance. I'm going to pivot back up. I'm going to step back into my straddle leg stance. 1, 2, 3. Now, I want you guys to practice this as often as you can. Get the stances down so you can do them without thinking about it. Always take the 3 steps. Take your time, and as a wise man once said, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Thank you.